posted. Gotta keep it posted. Gotta keep it posted. We got Mo Clark posted with the poster. When you turn on your radio, we got Mo Clark posted with the poster. When you turn on your radio.
You know we poppin', just name a topic. Posted up like a palm tree in the tropic. Rozzy on the beat, make you wanna come and see. Mo to the C, radio to TV. You know she putting in work like she clocked in. Celebrity guest, never guess who gon' drop in. Television's best like a S on the chest. Who's next? Say less, cause you rockin' with the best.
Mo Clark posted with the poster. When you turn on your radio. Posted with the poster. We can turn on your radio. From the streets to the television, we keep it going, ain't no intermission. From the streets to the television, we keep it going, ain't no intermission.
Hey, it's your girl, and I'm back in the building. After what, 2 years? Not the club drops. Oh my God. Anyway, it's your girl Mo Clark, aka Miss ATL Doll. I don't go by that no more because I was in them Facebook streets back in the day, and I was a player. But now I'm not a player. Well, I'm not. But anyway, I am super excited to be back. I am excited to have my homegirl here with me on my first show back. It's very fitting. I have my girl Nikkie Couture in the building, but we are going to jump into who she is and who she is to me and how much she means to me after Moments with Mo. Let's go. Well, All right. We back, and you know how we do it. Moments with Mo. Nikki, if you know any of the people in these stories and you feel not to, you don't want to make them upset, just don't comment on it. But I don't think you know any of the people in these gossip stories, okay?
Oh, okay.
JoJo, what's first? Let's go. All right. Did he do it? Okay, so listen. We are, I don't know how many weeks into the Diddy trial, and it just... I'm so confused on now. I don't even know why he's on trial anymore, because it's just like the first 2 to 3 weeks was about Cassie and the freak offs. And I thought we had already, crossed this bridge when she got the money. So what is going on? I know they say he's under a RICO Act. They've also mentioned sex trafficking, which I was trying to get into the details about why they said sex trafficking.
Girl.
So, Nikki, weigh in. Like, I've never been to a Diddy party. Let me just give that disclosure.
So, I've never been to a Diddy party either. But the way they came after him was like they had some major, big-time stuff on him.
Mm-hmm.
And not just him, it was other celebrities tagged along with it, the way they made it seem.
And there definitely is. I mean, there was a psychic that made the video a couple of...
Yeah.
She said this was going to happen.
She did.
She gave everything but the date and the time.
She laid it out.
She did.
Sloan Bella?
Yeah, Sloan Bella. So, did he do it? I mean, I guess that's the real question. Did he do it? But the realer question is, what is it that he did? Well, other than being freaky? Like,
I was just going to say, he did the freak offs. It's no denying that he did the freak offs.
Okay.
And that Diddy is a very freaky person. A horrible person, per se, to other people.
Yeah. And he did drag Cassie.
He did drag Cassie.
He did
and
do that.
The video was awful.
The video was awful. So.
But the RICO, I don't think.
Well, they're saying that the defense, I believe, is it the defense or the prosecutor? One of them is about to arrest, and I don't even
prosecute.
It's just too much. I don't tune into it every day because it seems like they're talking about the same thing over and over and over. They keep bringing up Cassie, and she took the first 3 weeks, and then it's just a lot. So I guess we got a couple more days to find out if he did it and what he actually did. I mean, because we already know what he did, but what did he do to be on an 8 to 9 week trial? I don't know. JoJo, what's next? All right. So Anne Burrell, she was on the Food Network. She had a show called Worst Cook Ever. She was just recently found deceased in her home by her husband, and they have not released a full cause of death just yet. But her husband is saying that he had last seen her 6 hours prior to finding her. And they're also saying that there were several pills, they haven't said what kind, but several pills were found around her. And it is said that the husband did not attempt CPR.
Oh, wow.
I just got some questions with this, because did the husband do something and like stage?
So he was there?
He was there, and the last time he seen her was 6 hours. 6 hours prior to finding her.
Well, what kind of relationship they got?
Stranger things have happened. Stranger things have happened, but the paramedics, of course, didn't try CPR because they said she was cold to the touch.
Already gone.
Yeah, she was already gone. So we are definitely sending our thoughts and prayers to her. I'm hearing she was amazing at what she did.
She was.
Of course, she's on the show of Worst Cook Ever, which I obviously should have auditioned for that show because I am hands down the worst cook ever. But that's neither here nor there. JoJo, what's next? Okay. So the Real ID is now being required, I believe, by TSA or Homeland Security or all of the above. So they are saying that you have to, it's mandated by TSA for any travelers 18 years or older. And they're saying that you could potentially already have a Real ID and not know it.
Yeah.
And they're giving all these different things. If you go online and you look it up for your state, it'll tell you what color your star is supposed to be. And I'm confused because I've got like 3 IDs because every time you move, you got to change your address. So I would think that one of those times I did an address change, they just stamp. Can't you just stamp a star on it? And
well, I think Georgia, they did it already. Like once you renew your license or when you go in, it's already there.
Right.
So you don't have to go in if you live here in Georgia to get the Real ID.
I just feel like it's so much stuff going on under this new administration, Trump administration. I just feel like there's so much going on, and it sucks because the people that are voting for him, the people that voted for him, they're now getting deported. Like, I don't even understand how they thought that wasn't going to happen.
Well, I don't think it's just them.
It's not just them. But what about the white men that had Puerto Rican wives?
Baby.
I mean, I'm sorry, not just white men. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to get myself in trouble. We about to jump into this show. I got my homegirl, Nikkie Couture, with me. So Nikkie was giving my producer a little backstory on us, and she tried to give him like the 5-minute rundown. So I'll give the real rundown. Yours was real. It was just quick. It was sped up. We've been friends for what, over 10 years?
Yeah.
At this point. I met Nikkie when I first started doing internet radio, which is crazy because technically it was probably podcasting back then, but it didn't have a name yet. Like, I don't feel like they were calling it that.
No, they weren't calling it
that. They weren't calling it that.
Podcast.
So Nikkie was a personality on a couple of the shows, and I started out as a rotating chair, which became something totally different, and I was just there. And then Nikkie and I decided we were going to go on this business venture together. And she was going to be the videographer, and I was going to be the host. And Nikkie everything's great. She's like my right hand man. She was literally my maid of honor at wedding number 2. Wedding number 2, she was my maid of honor. And after that, Nikkie had this big business venture for us, which I kind of think it was similar to this situation and this setup.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, it was.
She had a situation set up for us, and we did not have a great meeting of the minds.
No.
We didn't. But I think the meeting of the minds and the difference was because she had this meeting pre-set up, and something was going on with my current husband and his daughter and all that stuff. And, tempers were running. I ain't going to say egos because I don't think either one of us had an ego.
No,
I just
we
think it was
didn't.
just stuff going on that we weren't understanding of. And years passed, and I was secretly stalking Nikki on Instagram, right? I was still silently her friend.
I know.
I was talking shit about you though, but I was still silently your friend though.
But I think that's what girls do when they fall.
I mean, if it makes sense, to be fair, I wasn't talking crap to you to other people. I would just tell my husband
how you were feeling.
Yeah, I would just tell my husband. I was like, I'm not gonna talk to her. Like that's what I always tell. I see her, and it was so crazy because I remember one time we were so we stopped talking. Right? Mm-hmm. And we were at some event, and bro, we were literally standing this close to each other. Like I could have honestly reached out and say, "Hey girl, how you doing? Congratulations on the baby." But I was literally like,
we both were.
I was like,
we both were.
But Nikki, we had an event, and I was sitting at the bar, probably finna drown myself in my sorrows and wine, and Nikki came up and started having a conversation with me, which you actually got in depth with it the other day. And that was good because you know what? I don't know if I actually apologized to you, but I did go on an apology tour on air on other platforms, and I said it. I was saying it out loud. But I will take the time to apologize to you because you're a great friend. Like even after that situation and we made up, I had a situation. I was like, "Hey, Nikki, I can't come film Usher." And he was like, "Okay, what's the address?" And you came. So that's a true friend to, stand by your side at your wedding and all your marriages and all your divorces and, But I did miss you. I was super sad, when you had the baby because you were a first-time mom and I didn't get the experience. I got to experience some of it with you, which was when I didn't know. When I didn't know. But outside of being my friend, Nikki is a extremely dope entrepreneur, content creator. She writes and designs and do all these things. So with you wearing so many hats and being an entrepreneur, like how do you find balance? Like, do you even feel like there's a such thing?
No.
No? Okay.
Because first, I want to say I commend you on all your accomplishments.
Thank you.
Because I've watched you grow.
I appreciate it.
And I watched you step into realms that you did not know were possible or were next.
Yeah.
Even after the platform that we were on.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that too was kind of an issue that was unknown or how it shifted or, what happened.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, I watched you not let that stop you.
You kind of did.
No, because you're still going.
Yeah, that's true.
It might have put a damper on it, but it didn't stop you. You've grown and you've been able to grow on your own. So that's the most important thing without having other people around you to figure out what's next for me.
Yeah, it was listen, after that situation happened, like I was so used to it being us, all of us, and there were no cameras outside of what we were doing.
Yeah, because even in the venture that we were going to branch off, like where we were before that was like, it might have been a big major thing, but we had people behind us and we were able to stand, and it was a group of us, so we had support.
Yeah,
and it might have been a full vision, but it was some kind of vision.
Yeah,
and for it to end and then everybody to branch off, that was a different thing for like everybody, especially if you were continuing on in this industry, and that alone can be difficult when you're going by yourself.
Facts. I just remember when people kept saying, they were kind of trying to get me, and I talk about this so much because it's true. I remember being in that moment when people were telling me, "No, yeah, it's time for you to do your own thing," and I just remember crying one day because I was like, who am I gonna talk to? Because to sit and have this one-on-one, and there are some days I don't have a guest on the show, and I'll carry the whole show, but to be 4 of us and in a room and you're kind of just a piece of it and there's another leader, it's very it was never a fear, you know what I'm saying? I just didn't know how to navigate through it.
Because I think we all brought like our own perspective, and we added together, even with you as being a host and knowing who you knew to bring on as a guest. Like that was a strong point, but it wasn't a strong point that we all knew like on our own how to maneuver it. So it broke apart, and then we were trying to figure things out, and we were just, not that we maybe didn't want to, but we still had other things going on, and that kind of played a part into. So I don't kind of regret how things happened because it's helped us grow as women in this industry.
We could have, because we could have been, stagnant.
Exactly.
And so a big thing for me on the show was that, we were on a show with 3 DJs. We were on a show with 3 DJs. Yeah. And so the DJs, they had their, their outside things that they did outside of the show. They were getting booked for parties and stuff like this. And so me and Nikki had this idea that we were actually going to go and start doing red carpet stuff. And it is so insane. Just to tell you guys how old this is. Like when we started doing what we were doing, they didn't want cell phones on the carpet. Yeah. Like that stopped us from getting into a lot of events. We would get there, right? But they wouldn't take us seriously. They wouldn't consider us to be media because we didn't have a camera. And I was always like, bless your heart for dealing with me. Girl, God gonna have so much favor over your life for putting up with me. Because I used to whine all the time. I used to be like, oh my God, Nikki, why are we not in the front of the line? Why don't we have a camera? And she was always so calm. And she was always like, Mo, just how calm she is right now. Mo, we're gonna get there. It's gonna happen. And I'll be like, why we don't have a mic and why we don't have it? We're gonna get there. And she always said that. But then even when, we split apart and we saw each other out, like we were still doing what we were gonna do together separate. You were still making videos and content, and I was over there struggling. I mean, God put us back together for a reason, because I was over there struggling, trying to work my camera, tearing up my mics, filming interviews with no sound. That was terrible. Never do that. So anyway, back to you finding your balance.
Okay.
With the baby and, a family and all that stuff. How do you maintain?
It's give and take. I don't think that you have full balance because there's so much going on. You can't balance one thing.
Do you ever feel like it's some days that somebody or something is gonna get 90 and the other thing is gonna get 10? I was just gonna say
everything has a percent, but it's about what you choose to give that day. And even being in this industry, like sometimes you feel a lot of guilt because you're not either giving to your family as much or you're not giving to your business as much, and you think, if I'm not giving to my business, is something bypassing me or am I missing out on something? But I've had to sit back and look at that in a different light. Because here, Atlanta is the mecca, one of the meccas for media.
Right. That's why I have never contemplated leaving just yet.
Especially growing media.
Yeah.
But I feel that we can get content in the space that we're in because you have so much access, but it's really not access. And you have to learn how to apply it and use it for your best advantage.
Yeah. I think when I first started going out on my own, I felt the pressure to be at everybody's everything. You know what I mean? Like I felt, oh, I got to go here and I got to go there. And then, after doing it a couple of times and seeing who all was going to be there, like I feel like at this point, Jock should just invite me over for a cookout. Because he's so cool and down to earth, and you can have a whole conversation with him and let that be that. Anytime you see him out, you can have a conversation with him. But it got to the point of sometimes it was a hit or miss on the carpet. You know what I mean? Like when we were at the Nelly birthday party, and we were out there to 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and they didn't do interviews. That was kind of like, okay. And not to the people that ran the carpet were amazing. They did great. It was a great event. I just think it's sometimes when you're dealing with the talent.
Yeah.
I think the talent really, sometimes they tell you what they're going to do or what they're not going to do, but you don't know. The team doesn't know, or the team could be setting us up. I think that happens too. A lot of times I feel like some of us media outlets are extras, especially when it comes to the shows that they're filming. And they'll invite us to come out, and then you look on camera and it looks like it was all these people showing up for certain people, and it's like, bro, do they even really have a song? Like, it's kind of crazy.
I feel like it's the A and B list when it
and
comes
C
down,
and D.
and C and D when it comes down to media.
Mm-hmm.
And the A is like the mainstream. It was like when we was at the event and the lady was talking about how certain outlets were like, no, I'm not going to come out and cover this.
Right.
Granted, that might have been a major event.
Right.
But it wasn't major for them.
Yeah.
And so they call upon, I guess, what you would consider the B-list celebrities. But even within that, there's still bias because there's certain PR outlets that look at, if you're not here, or if I don't work with you, or if you don't do certain things, then you're going to be considered the C list. So I think it's still biased, but I don't think it's never hope that you shouldn't like continue to pursue those things. Because even when we were back then, like it's certain A and B list celebrities that we were able to pull on the show. And when you see them now, you be like, wow, we worked with these people, and we worked with these people, and we brought these people in, and they didn't know who we were.
Right.
So it's always a give and take, but I feel like you have to have a strategy if you're not on that A list to where you're going to go next with it.
And I was thinking the lady that we just talked about, the Amberell lady. Okay, so we don't know her official cause of death, but we see so many people that are in the spotlight that suffer from mental health issues and depression and stuff like that, like Robin Williams. You know, nobody saw that coming. Kate Spade, nobody saw that coming. Twitch, the guy from Ellen, nobody saw that coming. And it just sucks because outside of being, you know, like you're in front of the camera sometimes, but like I'm in front of the camera most of the time. And it sucks because when you're going through those personal things, you know, and at home or with your kids or whatever the case may be, it's almost like, okay, what do I get? Do I get on social media and have this breakdown and let people know, hey, I'm human, I got this going on? Or do I kind of take a scale back? Do I step back because I need to deal with this? And then it gets confusing because life is going to always life.
Yeah.
You know? So how do you stop from, to be honest and to be fair, I have had moments where I've looked at my social media page and reflect on all the things that I've done, and I'll cry, but it's not necessarily tears of sadness or tears of joy. It's just me reflecting on how far I've come. And sometimes the girl that I see on the page is so happy and so vibrant, and that may not be the space that I'm in right then.
Right.
So how do you keep your momentum going between, because it's real, you know, the person I am on social media, that's real. It's not a alter ego or anything like that. It just kind of make you feel different at times.
Well, you know what? That's something that I've had to learn how to separate the two. And I don't think I did that well when I first started my media brand. Because even right now, like I'm in a process of going through personal things where I'm figuring out how to rebrand my media. But because I'm in the process of rebranding my media, and my media brand has always been me alone, it's taken a hit. So I think you have to be able to separate the two.
Do you care? Like, do you care when it takes a hit? Do you feel any like when I go ghost on social media, I might pop on every now and again and check the DMs for business or whatever. And I don't necessarily miss going ghost, but I do see my numbers dropping. But it doesn't make me feel like any pressure to throw myself back into it.
Well, the only reason why I don't feel pressure is because media is changing. And media is changing because of TikTok. And because of that, so many quote unquote people that get on there and do reports. I'm not going to say they're not media because they're reporting stuff, but they haven't went through the process of doing internship or working with other companies or building their brand that way, the footwork.
Yeah.
And it's been accessed because they have a camera in front of them and they might be good at commentary.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to discredit that from them.
TikTok is the new YouTube. It's just a shorter version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been able to like use that as a cheat code for my brand. Like I might not get on Instagram because I feel like Instagram is just a portfolio. Portfolio for your peers, or maybe if you have a buku of followers that actually tune into what you're talking about every day, and you have to have a major brand like the Shade Room or Hollywood on Lock that they go to see the trending topics or what's like average people can post, but you're not going to get the numbers that those platforms get. But in the TikTok world, if you're able to produce content that trends or that goes viral, then you can keep your brand alive that way. So that's how I've been able to maneuver past just the Instagram level or posting on Instagram.
I remember the first day you sent me. We weren't talking yet. We hadn't started talking yet, but it was a friend request from you on TikTok, and I was like, what the hell? Is this a real pet? Like, I didn't think it was really you, but it was really you. And I was like, why in the world is Nikki? Nikki, that's not her, that's somebody else or whatever. But it was really you. So I'm sorry. I think I declined it at first. But, I bounced back. But speaking of, media growing, it's kind of like what I mentioned before. Like, we could not get on the carpet with a cell phone.
No.
And now it's crazy because some of these media outlets that they are inviting to come out, they're on the carpet with a cell phone and they're making content and videos, and they're, Amazon has a whole slew of, gadgets for the cell phones. And it's crazy because it's like, oh my God, like what, like, I think it was because a lot of people, well, I guess back then, no, it had to be the same because cameras are evolving too. So I guess people really didn't realize that some of the cell phones had the same megapixels as the cameras.
Yeah. Well, I think like camera is always meant to be a professional thing. So when you're looking at a carpet, you're always looking at that as being professional. But just like time changing with social media, time is also changing with cameras and technology and the things that we use. Because even just your cell phones, they have the little pro cameras and all of that you can use.
One.
But
beautiful.
That's still to say, like, I took that serious too. Like, I've had a publicist tell me, like, no. So instead of getting an attitude and not liking what they said, I went out and bought a camera. Granted,
I got an attitude. I even remember telling you, I was like, Nikki, we're media. Why are we media behind the media? I will never forget. I know exactly where we were that day. We were at the movie theater at Atlantic Station, and I was Cumberland, and I was so confused. But I do, and I've had this conversation with Jasmine Flowers. She's a journalist and a content creator, and we have talked about some of the bloggers and vloggers and stuff like that, and if we take it or take them seriously. So I will say there are some people that do dope reporting. I think where I got offended is because, as well, you guys know, I had a show when I first started the show. I had a guest on here. I don't know if you remember his name. I can't think of his name. Jay Wright, the guy, we met him.
The name sounds.
Yeah, because we met him together. We were doing an interview at some event, and for under WTNT, and he sat with us and he talked with us, and I never lost connection with him. And then I did lose connection with him because he went missing, but then he actually came on my show. Unfortunately, and I can use the term now, but unfortunately he brought 2 women on the show, 2 young ladies on the show, and he was accused, allegedly murdered one of the females that he brought on the show.
Oh.
Yeah, and my producer JoJo is back there, so he can. JoJo wasn't here. JoJo was here. Yeah, JoJo did that show. We did not know anything about it, but people started tagging the show's Facebook page, And it's like it hit us all at once. We all kind of sort of found out at the same time, and we had questions. And I took a hard hit for that because people were pulling my interview and doing what we see those other people doing. They were commenting on my interview, and it was a innocent interview just like this one, where we were making jokes, and I was telling him light-skinned people don't fight, which is something I said to him when I first met him, and they were pulling apart my interview when it was a real fun, carefree interview. I didn't foresee that happening,
But you were caught up in it.
Yeah, I was caught up in it. And I kind of lost respect for some people in the media world because they were doing clickbait. And it sucked because the young lady who lost her life, she was the same age as my oldest daughter. So I took it extra hard.
Right.
And her mom and her sister were in contact with me, and they were telling me, different details and stuff about the case. And to go on social media and YouTube specifically and see people with clickbait claiming to know the real story, and they're getting views and likes on a lie. Like, I think it literally got to the point where I became a keyboard bully. I was like, you need to take this down. You don't know what you're talking about. That's a lie. You need to do research, because where are you getting your story from?
Right.
Like, it wasn't even, anytime I see anything, any gossip or anything like that, I Google it. Like, I can't report it. I can't follow up on it. I think if we choose to blog and report all these stories on a regular basis, it kind of sends you into a depression. Like, it does me.
It does.
Because it's always a death or a killing or, whatever. That gum Shanquilla story, the girl that got killed in Cabo by her friend, allegedly, that story about sent me over the edge.
I think
that one and the girl that walked in the freezer.
Oh, yeah.
Kanika. Oh, my God.
I think, social media, it's a gift and a curse.
Yes.
So it does a lot for clickbait. It does a lot because now people feel like with a little bit of clickbait, they're famous.
I get that.
It gives a lot of access.
Okay. So what do you feel like, with knowing that, knowing social media is changing and evolving, knowing that media is changing and evolving, what do you think the future is for media? How do you feel about the virtual world?
It's different. It's scary. I think we're inclined for change. We need growth. That's always inevitable.
Inevitable. I got you.
But I think it still needs to have some kind of ground. Because even right now they're using that Google V8. I think that's what it is. But I've seen videos where people are making these cheating videos with celebrities and side pieces that. And so
with AI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's dangerous at the same time because people are looking at that for clickbait. They're making up stuff. They don't, it's not true, and then you're lying on celebrity. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole thing that doesn't need to be for people to get clickbait and to try to make money.
They also make up murders.
Yeah,
I've seen that, and I Googled because I think I saw one on Instagram about an African couple. It said the African couple got married and they were killed on their wedding day by the dude's ex-girlfriend. She snuck into the wedding and poisoned their food. And I'm like, wait, so they was the only two that died? Like, nobody else died? So I tried to Google it, and I couldn't find anything. So
I think that it still need to be some kind of groundwork where you're growing a brand or you're building a brand. I don't think people need to just be able to come up off of going viral and maybe having millions of views, and now you're overnight celebrity and you haven't put in the work.
That African TikToker that just got deported, you know what I'm talking about? He was in the new Bad Boys movies, the one that just do this all the time or whatever. He that's what he does. That's his thing. He never talks in the video. He just, you know who I'm talking about, JoJo? I don't know his name.
Yeah, he got deported.
He got ICE
he
got him.
everybody.
He just went ahead and left. But he's made millions of dollars off literally just doing that. And then he was in the Bad Boys movie, the latest Bad Boys movie, and he got deported.
Like I don't feel that, I'm not gonna take away from nobody in their content, because I've even been able to be on TikTok, and the amount of followers or support or views that I've got, I didn't receive prior to like just being on Instagram
Yeah.
or trying to grow my brand the normal way. So
Yeah.
I get it, and I've made money from it, and I made good money from
Yeah.
it, from being a content. But I feel like it's still, you have to know the root of it. It still takes away from the groundwork. Like, granted, we might be where we are now, but we still had to start somewhere.
Yeah.
We still had to start up under somebody. We had to figure it out. It wasn't just get in front of a camera and make this content, and now you're a media outlet, or just because you can. It didn't start like that. Like, we have in our minds that somebody told us we had to have a camera to be on the red carpet. And that made us feel like, okay, if that's the next step that I need to do, I'm going to go out here, whether I know how to work it or not, or I got somebody to work it behind me. I'm going to go out here and get this and figure this out so that I can move to that next level.
Big facts.
And it still has to have some kind of form or shape to it.
Yeah. I mean, I started this podcast with an iPhone in a hotel lobby.
See?
I started this podcast, this show, with an iPhone in a hotel lobby. And Mike's from Amazon, and I really, my background in admin and customer service and all that, I literally ran that operation just like a business. I was scheduling people, I was sending them confirmation emails. I had their flyers, unfortunately the camera person I had was my ex-husband, and he was being lazy sometimes. And one time I looked at one of the videos and it did straight like that. I was like, bro, my whole interview just slid to the side because he was over there supposed to be holding it and watching the game at the same time. So yeah, that next step, we had to go to the next step. And then finally, after a couple of different stations, I ended up here. But what made me bring the show here is because here I get the opportunity to just do what I do. I get the opportunity to come, to sit down, to do my reports. I mean, I still do the graphics, I still do the lower third, I still do, all the stuff that we're looking. Well, we ain't looking at it right now. We're looking at it right there. The stuff that we're looking at right there. But it's because of what you just said, being told, and being a female in the industry, in the media industry, I ain't gonna say all the men were like that, but it was tough. It was tough. You couldn't even get a dude to say, hey, can you show me how to use Adobe? What you gonna do for me, bro? Can you just show me how to put this picture on this thing real quick? Like, this is too much, and of course I did media. I promoted the club. We don't even want to talk about my club promoting days.
But I think like all of that stuff helps you get to where you are now. Because you know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't move here, you don't move to Miami, you don't move to LA, you don't move to New York, then on the outside world, you're looking at these places like, oh my God, they're a gold mine.
Yeah.
Because even for me, like with my first time coming here, and I was able to be in an experience of, I think it was the opera, when the opera was really jumping. And
that's the club I used to promote at. And I used to pick up great checks. Shout out to them.
That was over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But even like with my family being in the industry and coming here and being able to like be in the VIP or experience those things, and to go back to a small town and knowing that I had a bigger vision, it was like, oh my God, I never
thought about going back home. I mean, I remember it never crossed my mind.
It doesn't cross my mind now.
I remember moving here, and it wasn't to do media. It was just because my dad died and my mom got remarried and she relocated here. But I remember the person that was my best friend at the time, she was like, Atlanta gonna swallow you up. Atlanta gonna swallow you whole. You'll be back in a couple of years. And I've never gone back home. And I do know that the city, especially with what we do, Atlanta is what you make it. And for people that do media and parties, there is literally something going on every day, like every single day. And there have been times that we are standing on the carpet, all standing there with our phones trying to figure out how we finna go to 12 other events on the same day
all the time
to get the content.
And so if you like, I think everybody goes through stuff and everybody want to experience certain types of things. But if you don't have that mind, that strong, willful mind to know that you can't let it consume you, because it will, even with like the celebrities and wanting to be with certain people that we're in the mix of, like to be on their team, or what do I got to do to get here, or, you know, so like, I give both of us a lot of respect because we never ever had to sell our souls to that level of, oh, I got to fit in here, or I got to do this. Like, we've just been able to maneuver and move through it and do our own thing.
And move through it with grace. Like, I've been in situations where, you know, I will definitely give Yandy. I will say Yandy. When Yandy first came to Atlanta, oh my God, I was dying to interview Yandy. I was like, she's so amazing. She's a boss babe. She got this going on. She's always doing something. I want to interview her. And I seen her at an event, couldn't get close to her. And I was like, well, I'm going to just stay in here and film, you know. And I always knew, well, she's here.
You'll get that
one day, you know, one day, and I didn't put too much pressure on myself when I would see her out, you know, to get the interview. And it just so happened, not too long ago, I did an interview. You filmed it. That was the first time I ever interviewed her, and I messed up, and my mic went on. It was something going on, but she was gracious enough to let us redo it. That was my first time meeting her. So the next time I saw her, I walked up to her and I said, hey, I know you don't remember me, but I'm the one whose mic went off. She was like, oh my God, yes. It sucks, but she knew who I was. Yeah. So recently I had the opportunity. She came to an event, and I was standing outside randomly, right? How God works. I was standing outside and she pulled up, and I'm just minding my own business. And she's like, hey Mo, can you get some footage of me walking in? Da, da, da. And I was like, sure. And she said, well, do you want to record it from my phone? And I was like, no, I got my camera right here. And I had my DJ Osmo camera in my hand. And she said, that's a camera? I said, yeah. And she said, well, if you take it now, can I get the footage now? And I said, yeah. She was skeptical. But while she was up there on the panel doing her thing, you know, I did the video, chopped it up, edited, whatever. And she was very impressed. And she took my number. I mean, she hadn't called yet. I'm sure she will. But she took my number. But what I appreciated about her was I didn't know she did it, you know, until I started getting all these new followers and likes and stuff. She had posted the video, and she tagged me. And she actually took the time out to say thank you and compliment me on the work that I did. So, you know, I'm trying to get like you, because that's how we ended up in this situation. I'm the talker and you the videographer. I don't know how the hell you be doing that stuff. I'd be like, Nikki, what you using? Like, what the hell? And I used to get mad because you used to be like, oh, I'm using this, and this, and this. And I'm like, bro, ain't no way. But the crazy thing is, I had somebody do that to me. And it was in front of Yandy at this thing. And the girl was like, oh, I'm standing here talking to Yandy like this. And the girl's like, oh, you using CapCut? I'm like, bro, take it down a notch. Like, I use a lot of stuff. Like, I mean, because I do, but dang, hold on. Like, let me get a lady her stuff first, and then you can ask me all the questions or ask her all the questions. But that is, I think what we're doing is amazing. I think the fact that God allowed us to circle back. I think the fact that God allows you to apologize first, because I might not have never said nothing. Not because I ain't miss you, but you know, I'm a little fireball sometimes. Not all the time. I'm really a sweetie. I'm a softie, but you know, I be like, arr.
I have a thing that when you work in a profession with someone, like that cattiness or walking around with attitude, and
we weren't catty though.
No, we weren't, but it was still tension.
Yeah.
And we weren't talking, and even though we knew it, I didn't feel like that was a right space. Like, I don't think it was nothing that came between us that should have been. Like, we might have needed some time to figure out what
it was years though.
Yeah.
You had the baby was like 3 at that point. I was like, Okay. I mean, because I remember one time you posted this really cute picture of him where he looked like a little newspaper boy. He had on his little suspenders and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's cute. And, I don't think I had a opener. I didn't know how to approach the situation. And Larry kept saying, I think y'all should talk. Like, he told me for years. He was, every year when we were in the same space, he was like, maybe you should just talk to her. Maybe you should talk to her. I was like, I ain't talking to that girl. I ain't think about that girl. I don't want to say nothing to that girl. And then it's not like I ever forgot what the argument was. I just think it was a different, we already talked about that. But to be where we are and still keep doing what we're doing and growing. I've watched you. I've seen your numbers grow on TikTok. That's your skill. That's your talent. And to be able to, like you said, go off separately and grow and then be able to come back together even better because we've established these separate brands and now we can bring those and make them work however they're going to work.
I think it was just like that needed to happen for us to grow a bigger respect for ourselves individually.
You know what you told me the other day?
What?
You told me you missed me.
I did. Like I'm not a cliquish type girl. I don't care what nobody else got going on to get here or to move there. But if I rock with you, I rock with you. And I don't rock with many people. And I just felt like it was laid on my heart that I needed to mend that. Mm-hmm. And I don't apologize to a lot of people because I'm about justice. And I feel like if I'm right, I'm right. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But in that moment, I feel like this was my friend. It wasn't nothing too big that it couldn't be mended.
It really wasn't.
And that I couldn't be more apologetic. And that helped me grow as well. Because a lot of people be like, I ain't even apologize. I don't care if I'm right or if I'm wrong. I'm not going to apologize. Forget that. I ain't going to let this person see me in this vulnerable space. But I felt like it was needed.
But I love that. I don't necessarily love that it happened, but I loved how it gave full circle because at the moment where I had just got married and I was panicking, right? That's why I couldn't show up because I felt like he needed me. They needed me. And I was trying to explain that and it probably didn't come out right. But then you had a baby. So now I know you understand that. And maybe in that moment you didn't hear what I was saying, whatever didn't allow us to hear what each other was saying. But then you had a baby. Yeah. And so now you're, he's young. He's still young. And so now you understand. And now you're telling me no more, I can't go. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, now you're telling me I can't go. And I'm like, bro, man, my girl done had a baby. She can't even come outside. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different. But I think it's a good thing because if I always say about my daughters are day and night. Oh, my God. And I say one of them got way too much attitude and one of them don't have enough. And if I could just chop them in half and merge them together, it'll be the perfect kid. Mm-hmm. It'll be like the perfect balance of the perfect child. It's so scary. Yeah. I'm like, bro, don't y'all just want to spend some time with each other? Rub off on each other a little bit, So I definitely think that's cool, that we were able to come back. Because we used to have some fun together. I mean, you remember that adventure we had that one time trying to get to a pool party? Yeah. Did we ever get there? No. I don't even think we got there, bro. No. We didn't even get there. But we used to, it was us. It was like us against the world. We were really trying to do this. Figure it out, this female boss babe co-part kind of thing. And we would have been so rich because we would have been the first one, you know what I'm saying? And I'm seeing people do it and it still don't work out for them either. But they further into it when they realize it don't work out. So we're breaking the mold. We're breaking the stigmatism. Black girls rock. Black girls can grow and work together. Yeah. I'm happy to have my friend back. And tell everybody where they can find you at.
You can find me on Instagram at The Endless Report, TikTok The Endless Report, YouTube The Endless Report.
You got to tell them that's actually with an N.
Yes, with the N. Endless Report. In the word list report.
And it's your girl Mo Clark. You guys can follow me on IG at Miss Mo Clark. And I know Christmas is coming up. we got to give Jack a Christmas present. So y'all go ahead and follow Status Network too. Merry Christmas, Jack!
Keep it posted, gotta keep it posted, gotta keep it posted. We got more clock posted with the poster. When you turn on your radio, we got more clock posted with the poster. When you turn on your radio.
You know we poppin', just name a topic. Posted up like a palm tree in the tropic. Rozzy on the beat, make you wanna come and see. Mo to the C, radio to TV. You know she putting in work like she clocked in. Celebrity guest, never guess who gon' drop in. Television's best like a S on the chest. Who's next? Say less, cause you rockin' with the best.
Mo clock posted with the poster. When you turn on your radio. Posted with the poster. When you turn on your radio. From the streets to the television, we keep it going, ain't no intermission. From the streets to the television, we keep it going, ain't no intermission.